Hey guys, I just wanted to hop and make my first full-length video instead of a short to talk to you guys about a topic that I think really is shocking to me, thinking about how much of a Square Enix fan I have been my whole life. I've got these two paintings up here to show you that this is not meant to be a Square Enix hate video. I love this company and the games that they've produced over the years. However, yesterday, rumor came out that Final Fantasy IX Remake may have been canceled, and while I don't think the game is canceled, I do think the fact that so many people, including myself, could believe that this would happen. Probably the most anticipated game that they've released, or they've had, one of the most anticipated games since the Nvidia leak happened. The fact that they would even consider canceling it is a severe indictment on how this company is run. I think the fact that Atlas has been coming on so strong and people talk about the golden days of Square Enix, or Square, I think Atlas is in their golden run right now, and they are stealing the show from Square Enix while they continue to crumble down themselves without that input from Atlas. If I just think about some games that I've enjoyed over the years, Final Fantasy X was my first love in gaming. I loved Final Fantasy VII. I loved most of the early Final Fantasy games. Then I started getting on to 12, which I think was an okay game. 13, which, may be an unpopular opinion. I actually really enjoyed the 13 series, so I'm not going to go all the way back to 10 to say that's the last time they made a good game. 14 was an MMO. I understand it's a great game. Not for me, not the audience that they've always had, which is JRPG fans. That is an MMO player's game. 15, while I think was a good game, was obviously incomplete. And then we've got Final Fantasy 16, which again may have been a great game, but I couldn't enjoy it because it was an action game from a JRPG company. It lost almost all of the RPG elements besides the story, and that's just something that I feel like I can't get behind as much. Versus, let's look at what Atlas has done over the years. They've just continued to rise and rise and rise. Persona 5 really sent them into the stratosphere, and I think that was the game that really brought me into them too. I had never played an Atlas game before. Got Persona 5 for free and just tried it. And I fell in love with that game. I was kind of weirded out by the Kamoshida intro, but once I got past that, I realized just how fantastic these games really are. I played Royal immediately after, Persona 3 Reload, Persona 4 Golden, which again, controversial opinion, that was the weakest game in the series so far for me. That I haven't played 1 or 2, but for the modern trilogy, I didn't like it as much. But still, leaps and bounds of what I've seen from Square Enix over the past 15 years. So to me, even their misses, Persona 4 Golden, I think was still a great game. I wouldn't call it a miss, but let's talk about Soul Hackers 2. I just talked about. I love that game so much more than I've loved anything I've gotten from Square Enix, except for maybe one of their games that didn't even sell all that well, Octopath Traveler 2. Octopath 1 and Octopath 2 were fantastic games, but they didn't even sell that well. Whereas Atlas, when they create an IP out of thin air with Metaphor ReFantazio, it's on the Game of the Year list. And it stood much more of a chance than anything Square Enix has released in years. So this is just something I wanted to talk about. And I think the title, just to bring in what I'm talking about there, if this is a company that for some reason, I don't think it did cancel Final Fantasy IX, but if they did, I do not understand with the awful games that they've released with Balan Wonderworld and Forspoken and all those games, if they managed to cancel what was their most anticipated game over the last many years, I don't understand how this company can possibly survive at the losses and the decisions that they're making until 2030 unless they are bought out and completely reconstructed. And I say that from a place of love because I'm scared for this company if this is the case. We need Square Enix in this game space, but right now, if I'm Atlas, I'm trying to just dominate the market, and I'm scared that Square Enix is just headed too much the wrong direction to keep up. So you guys let me know in the comments, do you think Square Enix possibly falls apart before 2030? I can see it happening. If Final Fantasy IX Remake gets canceled, they may need to be bought out. But you guys let me know if that's just me being doomsday, which I may be a little bit, but I just don't understand how a company can continue to make such poor decisions and survive when they're not one of the major market shares. Like, you know, Ubisoft is a terrible company, but they can survive. They have such a major market. JRPGs aren't like that. And Square Enix is trying to lead this JRPG space a little, and they are failing. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this opinion. I understand it may be a little controversial, but I really love this company, and it's been weighing on me. I really wanted to talk to some people about it, and that is the purpose of this channel, is to find some people to talk about JRPGs I love. So please let me know below what I can do different for my future videos. I tried to put some gameplay up for you. I'm going to try to add some music, just so that it's a little bit